My brother called me from the hospital while he was sitting in my car. Story by you/more tanks. Blake and I hadn't spoken in almost 17 years. He was the older one, 6 years older than me. He always treated me like a kid. And our parents. Well, how should I put it? I think he hated them. When our father died, Blake said flat out that he wouldn't come to the funeral. He didn't want to hear about any of it. He screamed at our mother, and he told me to go to hell too, for always taking our parents' side, even though, according to him, they didn't deserve it. I was angry with him for a long time. When Blake turned 18, he left home, and I was left alone with our mother. Her condition slowly got worse. I took care of her for 10 years, and when I was 22, she died too. It was horrible. I loved my parents, and losing both of them pulled me into a deep, dark place. But the worst part was Blake's behavior. When I called him to tell him that our mother had died, he only said she deserved it. I was furious with Blake. He didn't even come to her funeral. I couldn't reach him afterward either. Maybe that was for the best. It would have been nothing but arguing and chaos anyway. But when I was at the lawyer's office, handling our parents' will, Blake showed up. I snapped. I went after him like a madman. I insulted him in every way I could, right there in the lawyer's office. I threw everything I had at him, asking how he could be such an asshole. Our parents had raised us properly. They had done everything for us, and this is who he turned out to be. Blake didn't react to any of it. He was completely indifferent to my insults. He said he wasn't there for the money or our parents' estate. There was only one thing he cared about, selling the house we grew up in. Selling it to someone who would promise to tear that filthy place down to the ground. That's when I completely lost it and attacked him. We got into a violent fight. The police showed up, and, yeah, the whole situation turned out pretty ugly. But that was a long time ago. The house was sold, and Blake disappeared. I thought I would never hear from him again. I didn't even think when my phone rang. I was waiting for a package anyway, so I assumed it was the courier or something like that. But when I picked up, a familiar voice spoke on the other end. "Hey, little brother," Blake said. Even after all these years, my stomach clenched. A whole world, a whole life I thought I had left behind came crashing back. Hearing Blake's voice through the phone made everything echo inside me. I talked to Blake then. Part of me felt like I should just hang up and tell him to go to hell, but he was my brother. Maybe it was time to forgive him, after all these years. 6 months passed. Blake and I talked every week. You could say he'd grown up, well, maybe. I'm not sure. Talking to Blake brought up a side of our parents I'd never known. To them, I'd always been their sweet little Max. They loved me. They took care of me. In my memories, Blake had received that same love. Our family had been a decent, honest, loving home. But Blake remembered things differently. When he first told me, I thought he was losing his mind again, trying to drag our parents' names through the dirt. But he insisted they had starved him, that they had done terrible things to him. He said there were times they locked him in the basement for days, tied him up, and wouldn't even let him use the bathroom, so he had no choice but to soil himself. And if that wasn't enough, they punished him constantly. Our mother beat him with a leather belt, almost every day. Our father preferred to choke him, until he passed out. I didn't believe him. Not until, during a video call, he showed me proof. His back, legs, and arms were covered in old scars, long marks, like he'd been whipped. One of the joints on his index finger was missing. He said our father had cut it off with pruning shears when he was around 10 years old. Blake was a tortured man, with a tortured soul. And finally, I understood why he hated our parents so much. But my own world was turned upside down too. The people I had loved, the people whose absence still hurt like hell, had treated their other, older, childlike monsters. How could I not have noticed any of it when I was a kid? My conversations with Blake didn't stop. We texted almost every day, and whenever we